Hello, Trentonites. This is Mrs. Vega welcoming my frogs to learning for the week of May 11th. And you'll see behind me I have our learning targets. So the first one for reading is I can read words. You say it. I can read words. You're going to notice when we do this learning target, there's a couple of different ways to spell the sound for within words. And we're going to play a game to see which sound wins. The next is I can identify cause and effect. You say it. I can identify cause and effect. We're going to talk about what that means in a little bit. In writing, we're going to keep going with our opinions. Last week, we shared our opinion about a topic of our own choosing, and this week, I can write my opinion about a story. You say it. I can write my opinion about a story. And in math, we're going to be telling some time. I'm also going to be showing you how to get online and see the videos that are on your math curriculum, the Go Math website. There's a lot of really cool things on there, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to check it out at your house. And parents, please send Mrs. Vega 3 work samples either by text or email. I just need one thing from reading, one thing from writing, and one thing from math. You can pick what they are, and then I'll be able to give you some feedback on your work. So again, the target for math is I can tell time to the hour. You say it. I can tell time to the hour. All right, are you ready? I'm going to start sharing our screen, and I will show you the agenda for the week. I have up here my Go Math video, which is going to be coming later. This is page 5 of your packet, and we see here that we have some words that have an sound. And I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger, woo, so you can see me just a little bit better. So there's 3 ways, or actually 4 ways you can write the sound in words. There's you are, you say it, you are. Er, you say it, er. Ir, you say it, ir. Or, you say it, or. These are ways to make the same sound of in the middle of words. And it's just kind of through memorization that we have to learn how to spell these words and which letter combination goes with which one. So we're going to have a race, and we're going to see which one wins when we read these words. So let's read them together. This is her. Oh, I noticed. Gets a point. Check. Er. The next word, read it with me. Let's sound it out. Bird. 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 And you can see when I'm stretching the sounds, I can just say that middle sound. We know that the IR says so I'm just going to say it just like the sound of the letter R, and the rest of the sounds. Bird. And that's a point for check. IR. Keeping going up. Curl, curl, curl. Sometimes I have a little bit of curl in my hair, and I notice it's you are. Check. It gets that point. Ooh, it's pretty even right now. Who's next? First. Ah, my first graders will know that one well. Check. Oh, IR is in the lead. Now this is one we don't have on there. It's an AR and it says R. It's just a little bit different, so I didn't include it in here. So we're going to skip over this word, which is warm. like keeping warm in the winter. Dirt. I see another IR. Whoa, IR has 3 points. OR doesn't have anything yet. But maybe he'll get on the board now. Word. Check. Okay, help me read the next one. Ready? Let's stretch the sounds. Earn. Turn. And that's a UR. Woo! Now UR is in the game. Here we go. Did I skip one? I think I did. This one is verb. Yes. I got a little ahead of myself there. I bet you noticed at home, though. You're good thinkers and you're paying attention. Here's the next one. It's jerk. It's a point for ER. Oh, ER and IR are neck and neck. And the next one is nurse. This is a silent E. We're not going to say it at the end. Nurse. My sister is a nurse, and that's a point for UR. Curve. Another silent E. Curve. Whoa, that puts UR in the lead with 4 checks. On to the next. We're going to skip that because there's no UR, and here is a UR. Burn. Whoa. UR is leading with 5. And we're going to move on to the next one with an ER. Clerk. Like when you go to the store, the person working there is the clerk. Check for ER. Skirt. I hope you're saying these words with me at home and you're sounding it out slow. IR gets another point. And here's another IR. Shirt. Check. Oh boy, I think we're tied here with 5 of UR and IR. Who will win? We're gonna skip. Oh, here's one. Better. And that's at the end of words. When we have an sound at the end, it's usually with an ER. And we got one more here. Return for UR. And the very last one, oh, I bet you can guess who's gonna win. It's a surprise. It is UR is the winner with that many checks. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you guessed UR was the winner, you were the right one too. And now we're going to move on to the next thing, which is about cause and effect. I don't know what time of day it is where you are. Get it? You are. But it's almost lunchtime for me. And when we're talking about cause and effect, I want you to think about when you get hungry. And so sometimes when you get hungry, your tummy feels empty and it's rumbling and you think, oh, I'm hungry. What's for lunch? And then that is the cause that leads you to do the effect, which is if I'm feeling hungry, I might go down to the kitchen and make myself a sandwich, and I might eat my sandwich, and then, oh, I'll feel better. So that is my example for cause and effect. My hunger was the cause that led to the effect of me making lunch and eating it. Now I'm going to read you a story from the packet, and here we go. I'll make myself a little bigger again so you can see me a little better. And I'm going to scroll down to this story right here. Now you can read all of the stories in this packet, but I'm going to use the story A Bunny Wish to help you understand a little bit more about cause and effect. So when we're reading this, I want you to think, what is a cause and what effect happened later. A bunny wish. There's a wishing star, Bethy Bunny said to Freddie Frog. I wish for a sun hat. They were going to the beach the next day. I think you will get your wish, said Freddie Frog. I think I will too, said Bethy. The next day, Freddie brought Bethy a sun hat. Oh, my wish came true, exclaimed Bethy. That wishing star worked, said Bethy. She put on her hat. It's my turn next, said Freddie. Good, said Bethy. Okay, so I wanted to read you the whole story before we talked about it, because with cause and effect, you kind of have to know what the whole story is before you know what was causing something to happen. So when she looked up at the night sky, she saw these wishing stars, and she decided to make a wish on the star. The cause was she wished for a sun hat because they were going to the beach the next day. And that gave Freddie an idea. He said, I think you will get your wish. And she hopes so. And so then the next day, the effect of the cause of Bunny making a wish on the star for a sun hat, the effect is that Freddie Frog brings her a sun hat. And so her wish came true. Now, you might think it's magic, but I'm thinking that maybe Freddie bought it. And you saw me when I was reading it, I made a little mistake. I said Freddie bought Bethy a sun hat, but this says brought. I had to slow down and stretch out that word, and that changes the meaning of the sentence. He brought it to her. He didn't buy it, but he might have, because look, there's a tag right there. Could be magic, could be Freddie shopping. Anyway, the cause was she made a wish, and the effect was that she got her wish, the sun hat. And then at the end, they might write another story. Maybe you could tell your parents or your caregiver at home what wish might Freddie make, because he says it's his turn next. Do you think the cause of him making a wish will lead to the effect of Bethy Bunny bringing her friend what he wishes for? I think maybe, because it says good. She likes that idea that he would get his wish. So the next page in your packet has a worksheet that you can do to fill out some ideas about cause and effect. And when you're filling it out, you could say the words out loud and your parents could write it down, or you could try to write it down. And I want you to think of me reading it and telling you about it when you do that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is opinions. So we're going to write about our opinion. I can write my opinion about a story. And I am going to show you an example of what I wrote for the story we just read about Bunny's wish. You could also write an opinion about Bunny's wish when it's your turn, but I want you to try to think of a different idea of what I say. Or you could try writing an opinion about the other stories in a packet or any other stories that you know. So first I'm going to show you what I did when I wrote my opinion. The first thing that I did was I looked back at this awesome review page that has a lot of sentence starters for words you can use when you're talking about opinions. And then I also looked at this page when I was thinking about what I needed to include in my paragraph. So I had to tell what my opinion is. I have to give a couple of reasons why I think that it is true. And then I have to wrap it up with a conclusion statement that reminds the reader of what my opinion was in the first place. So here's what I wrote. I think Bunny's wish is a happy story because it was about wishes. When Bunny made a wish, I felt joyful thinking of my own wishes. I believe that I believe stories about wishes are fun to read. And so you'll notice that I used some of those same sentence starters. I used I think to show my opinion because that's what an opinion is. It's what you think about something. Um, and I told what I thought about it, that it made me happy. I used a reason that made kind of a self text connection that I felt happy because it made me think of joyful wishes I've made in my own life on stars. And I could have added another reason in there, but I was kind of running out of room. This was a lot of words for Mrs. Vega to write. So I chose to just write one reason today. And then I ended it with I believe, which I thought was a really good choice for this particular sample of writing because it's about wishes, and wishes are kind of magical. You have to do some believing about it. I believe stories about wishes are fun to read. So it was almost the same idea that it was a happy story. It's fun to read. I just said it kind of in a different way to wrap it up. So I want you to try writing your opinion about a story, and I want you to use some of those tools that your teachers have provided you in the packet. Now we're going to move on to math, and I'm super excited to show you what is online with Go Math. So the website that I'm going to show you can be accessed on that link that is in the packet that I showed you. I don't think I did show you at the beginning. Let me show you real quick. So up here on, oh boy, sorry about this, everybody. If you go down to math, there it is. You can click on the link for Go Math, and there it is. And if you need help logging in with your password or your username, let me know and I can get that information for you. I went ahead and loaded up the lesson for us to watch about telling time to the hour. And parents watching, you might think, oh, this looks strange because there's only one hand on the clock. And that's so that we can really start to learn about what that shorthand does when it's an hour. And later I'll show you about the long hand that is on the clock. So here's the video.
Hi there! Sam and I really like it up here in the treehouse. We can see the whole neighborhood. But we can't stay up here all day. We heard the kids who live in the neighborhood talking. They said they would come up later today and play in the treehouse. Click Sam's acorn to hear what else they said.
So when you're watching these videos and this happens, that means they want you to click on it and then something else will happen.
Good work! They said they would come here at 4 o'clock. I can't remember what that means. But one of the kids showed the other one a clock. She said she could tell 4 o'clock by only using an hour hand. Well, I'm confused. Before we can decide what 4 o'clock means, we need to learn about telling time to the hour. Come on, let's go.
And then there's my blinking arrow, so I click it.
Look at the row of numbers. Some numbers are missing. Let's count on from 1. 1, 2, 3. What number goes in this box? Click the box to show the number.
And this, as you remember, is called a number line, and that's helpful for remembering what numbers might be missing, seeing what numbers are in order, which comes next. So if you guessed 4,
4.
you were right.
Now let's continue to count on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What number goes in this box? Click the box to show the number.
Good counting on. It's
10. Let's count on. 11, 12. Now look at the numbers on the clock face. Let's count on again. 1, 2, 3. What number comes after 3? Click the box to show the number.
So just like the number line, the clock has numbers in order. At the top, that's 12, but the hours start counting after 12. 1, 2, 3,
4.
4.
Keep counting on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What number comes after 9? Click the box to show the number. 10. Continue counting on. 11, 12. How are ordering numbers and the numbers on a clock face alike? The numbers on a clock face are in order. You can move along each as you count forward from 1 to 12. 1, 2, 3.
I'm noticing
4, 5, 6, 7.
I got it to pause. I'm noticing that the number that they're pointing to here is also the number they're pointing to on the clock. And that shows the hours passing by. So you can see the hour hand moving around the clock. And like they said, the numbers on the number line are in order, just like the numbers in the clock are in order. They just go in a curve or a circular organization pattern. Let's keep going.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A clock is used to measure time. It's useful to know what time school starts or when an after-school activity ends.
So here we go. Let's see what's next.
The time shown is time to the hour. This is the hour hand. It points to a number on the clock. The number tells you the hour. Look at the number the hour hand is pointing to. Select the hour shown on the clock. Then check your answer.
Okay, so if you're looking, I see that the arrow is pointing to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I look at my choices, and this is what is called a digital clock. This is an analog clock. And this digital clock is a little easier to read when you're telling the time. And I'm noticing that the hour 5 is shown here in the middle, 5. It's not 4 o'clock. It's not 6 o'clock. I think it's 5 o'clock. Let's check if I'm right.
That's right. The hour hand is pointing to the 5, so you write 5 with 2 zeros after the number to name the hour. How would you say this time?
Can you say it? Let's see if you said it the way they do.
5 o'clock. The hour hand points to the 5. It's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. And there it is in words, too.
Now let's practice with the personal math trainer.
All right, so this is a time where you can click on this. The last video I did, this didn't work, so we'll see what happens. And it still didn't work. So for some reason, that doesn't work when I'm sharing my screen on Zoom, but it worked when I wasn't on Zoom. So what's nice about it is it gives you a little opportunity to practice answering some more questions about time, and it will tell you if you're right or wrong. There's some tools on there you can use, and there's even a little quiz and an assignment that goes with it. So I highly encourage you to check that out if you are able to do that. If not, that's okay too, because you can still do the same work in the packet. And I'm going to share my screen again to show you what that looks like. We'll get out of here and go back to the packet. And I'm going to make myself a little bigger. One of my students told me that they wanted my picture on the share screen to be bigger, and that's why I'm doing it this way. And if you have any feedback for me, I'd love to hear it to make this better for you at home. That's why I'm here, is to help you. So on this page, you'll notice that it's the same skill where they only have the hour hand, and your job is to write what hour it is, 3 o'clock, and also to say what the time would be, 3 o'clock. And I'll just go through one more example here and then we'll move on. Here we have it pointing to the 9. So I would write here a 9 with a colon and 2 zeros, and I would say 9 o'clock. So you're going to practice with all of those with your families. And then later, you're going to find out about half an hour. So a clock has a whole hour on it, and half of an hour would be half of the clock. So I know we haven't really talked about the big hands yet, but when the big hand is pointing to the 6, that means that half of the hour has gone by. And the little hour hand is moving too, but not quite as fast as the big hand, which is the minutes. So when we see the hour hand pointing right in the middle of an 8 and a 7, we know that it's not quite 8 o'clock yet. It's still in the 7 o'clock hour, and it's right in the halfway point. So you could say that it is 7:30 o'clock, or another way to say it is to say 7:30, because 30 minutes is half of the 60 minutes on a clock. Now there is a nice Go Math video about telling time to the half hour, and if you are able to, I highly encourage you to watch it. I really like this page because it shows the clock with both hands and a model. So it says an hour has 60 minutes. So as we were just talking about, what is that shorthand pointing to? Think it's pointing to the 10. So the clock shows 10 o'clock. And when it shows 10 o'clock, the long minute hand is right at the top at the 12, which is the beginning of the hour. And then down here we see that the hour hand is right in the middle of the 10 and the 11. So we know that it's not 11 o'clock yet, it's still 10 o'clock, and it's 10 o'clock. And so we would say that that is 30 minutes after 10 o'clock, which is 10:30. Now, if you keep going a little bit further, we're almost done. It would be really wonderful if the math sample pages you wanted to send to me, if you included some of these chapter 9 test questions, because then I can see how you're doing with measurement from last week, which was shortest to longest, and then measuring time, which is this week's skill. So with that, we are at the end of my lessons for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was helpful. Reach out to me by text or email or phone if you have any questions. Bye-bye. See you next week.